Next, we return to the topic of the operational situation at the front, particularly in the Chernihiv region. We will be discussing it. I will ask in detail about the fight against enemy drones with Mikhailo Yarmolchik, the Chief Sergeant of the Anti-Aircraft Missile Battalion of the 143rd Separate Mechanized Brigade. Mr. Mikhailo, greetings to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, we see a QR code on the screen, and I want to ask you, what are we raising funds for and how much is needed?
We are currently in the process of raising essential funds. We have officially launched a fundraiser for generators, portable charging stations, laptops, and tablets. This equipment is absolutely vital in order to further equip the existing interceptor and MHG crews, as well as to fully equip new MHG and UAV interceptor crews. To put it more simply, our goal is to significantly increase our total number of resources and operational capabilities in this specific area. On our section,
dear viewers, you heard what the fundraising is for. Please, the QR code is on the screen. The bank account number is on the screen as well. From us, I would truly like to emphasize that it is precisely brave individuals such as Mr. Mikhailo who work tirelessly to prevent most of those Shahed drones and destructive missiles from ever reaching our major cities and the residents of Kiev. And unfortunately, all the other residents living in all other cities across Ukraine also know very well what that terrifying threat means for their daily lives. And this man is one of the people who stand directly in the way of such lethal projectiles launched from the Russian Federation, which continues its role as the aggressor country. Please join the fundraising effort. Every donation is valuable. Even 1 hryvnia makes a difference. You know this very well, and you also know that we must support the front. And please, the QR code is on the screen as well as the bank account number on the screen. Mr. Mikhailo, in recent days, both the Chernihiv and Kiev regions have suffered massive attacks, including the use of a new type of drone with jet engines. What trends have you observed in the use of these high-speed UAV modifications by the enemy in your, so to speak, sector of the sky over the recent period?
Throughout the most recent period of time, we have observed a significant and noticeable increase in activity, specifically in jet-powered unmanned aerial vehicles. And what I want to add is that they are indeed considerably more difficult to effectively counter than propeller-driven ones. To put it another way, this target is significantly faster, and it's more challenging for a mobile fire group to shoot it down. So here, we are relying more on UAV interceptors.
Then what about these specialized UAV interceptors? First of all, are there enough of them? Secondly, are they able to intercept such high-speed targets 100% of the time? What is the interception rate? Well, if, of course, that's something we can talk about. And third, which modifications have proven to be the most effective?
Based on all the data we have, specifically among UAV interceptors, it has proven to be the most effective option available today. Sting Hornet Vision, that is to say, this is a drone that, first of all, has exceptionally fast flight speed and remarkably high-definition image quality, which is also absolutely essential because it must be able to identify and track the Shahed or Garan or any other enemy unmanned aerial vehicles. So the image quality is also very important. As for the exact percentage of successful shootdowns, I cannot provide you with that specific number right away, but we utilize many different types of UAVs because every unique situation requires its own specialized tool. To be more specific, we have certain drones designed for daytime operations, others optimized for nighttime missions, and specialized units for intercepting both faster and slower moving targets. In our recent operations, the particular models that have performed the best overall are specifically the Sting Hornet units.
Let me remind our viewers once again, please, dear friends, the QR code is on the screen, the bank number is on the screen. We are raising funds for charging stations, tablets, and equipment to outfit new mobile fire teams for the Anti-Aircraft Missile Battalion of the 143rd Separate Mechanized Brigade. Reading this carefully to avoid mistakes. QR code and bank number are on screen. These are the people, one of the units, who defend against enemy Shaheds and missiles. Our airspace, our cities, essentially us with you. So please, I kindly ask you to join in and provide support to our defenders to properly equip and supply even more mobile groups. You surely understand that quantity and quality are important. Both are equally important right now. Thank you in advance. Mr. Mikhailo, that's right about the interceptor UAV. Does that accurately reflect the situation? I certainly understand that, especially when you take into account its incredibly high speed. The primary difficulty really lies in its rather narrow and restricted camera field of view, if you will. That is, when it takes off, it's very hard for the operator to find the target. There's also the matter of guidance systems, of radar stations. How do you go about actively searching for various aerial targets? Do you currently have all of the necessary and specialized equipment?
Yes, we do have the necessary equipment and specialized gear. However, I am not really sure if I should say anything more about it right now. But we definitely have a full and complete range of systems needed to effectively shoot down various targets, to detect and engage the target. What we really lack is equipment specifically for the crews. That is, to recharge their equipment and to have some reliable sources of power. Because for the dedicated interceptor crews, this is extremely important for their mission. They need to have a functional charging station, a portable generator, a laptop, and a tablet to stay operational. In other words, it's absolutely essential for the project. It specifically concerns the power supply and communication. What this essentially means is that
This is extremely important. And once again, to our viewers, dear friends, the relatively peaceful morning you have today, which you can spend in front of the TV while getting ready for work, for example, is all thanks to the incredible bravery of our defenders. I think you realize this very well. I ask you very much. The QR code is on the screen, the bank's number is on the screen. Any donation amount that's comfortable for you works 100% and goes directly to the unit. We are actively raising necessary funds for specialized equipment to outfit new mobile crews to intercept and successfully shoot down aerial targets that are flying toward our cities, killing our innocent people, destroying our homes, and damaging critical civilian infrastructure. You heard yesterday's news that Russia is now declaring it is moving on to destroy our energy grid and vital resources. Military targets in Kiev. Do you understand what that means? I mean, they just needed an excuse. Russia will now simply escalate its terror against the civilian population. And these people, like Mr. Mikhailo, stand between us and those missiles and drones that are flying toward our peaceful cities, our homes, our children, our relatives, friends, and so on. Please, it's very simple to transfer. Just scan and send a few hryvnias, I don't know, 5 or 10. If someone can give 1,000, please give 1,000. But people need equipment to outfit new mobile groups. I urge you to participate in this effort and realize just how important this really is. Thank you for this. And Mr. Mikhailo, I actually have another question for you. I actually had it written down here, so this is actually quite interesting. Tell me, is the enemy currently using any sophisticated new tactics? For instance, I don't know, perhaps flying at ultra-low altitudes or performing complex maneuvers specifically to avoid your incoming fire?
yes, they are constantly changing their tactics, always paying very close attention, especially to the specific places where their UAVs were hit. That is, they try to fly around these areas. In other words, they constantly seek to change their entire flight route. You mentioned the incredibly low and dangerous altitude, and that really is a significant and complex tactical challenge because low altitude combined with exceptionally high speeds of travel means they are in the immediate visual field, or more precisely, they are even positioned directly within the vulnerable strike zone. For a mobile fire group with a machine gun, they will be in the line of fire for a very short time. This reduces the time they spend in the group's strike zone. That's the first point. Second, detecting them. From a geographical and locational standpoint, that is also a significant problem. Our people are constantly on high alert combat duty around the clock, always watching intently with their own eyes and listening very carefully with their own ears to every sound. So we also rely on visual observation posts, meaning essentially on people themselves.
Mr. Mikhailo, unfortunately, our time is up. Thank you, first of all, for your protection, for your service to you and your comrades. And secondly, thank you for joining us this morning. And let's also thank our wonderful viewers. They have collected $65,000 up to this point. And to the viewers, I would like to add, Russian aggression has not stopped yet. Airstrikes are still ongoing. The fact that our conversation with Mr. Mikhailo Yarmolchik, the Chief Sergeant, ending our talk with the Wander 43rd Brigade AA Battalion's Master Sergeant, the fundraiser is also finishing. Please, the QR code is on the screen, and you can also find it on YouTube.